Folks, I'm sure you've heard at this point, but we're going to break it down in this video. Bed Bath & Beyond stock is officially being delisted from the NASDAQ exchange here in a couple of days, and well, this is not good news at all. So we're going to break down what's going on with the stock right now, what I'm doing with my shares, what to expect now that they're being delisted, and we're just going to talk about the stock in general. So if y'all find value, hit that like button, make sure to subscribe, and don't forget to get up to 15 stocks from Moomoo and 12 stocks from Webull. Link down below. It is free money, guys, and with that being said, let's dive right into it. So at the time that I'm making this video, what time is it right now, guys? It's about 8:20 p.m. on the East Coast, and we got this news about 2 hours ago, maybe close to 3 hours ago, and you guys can see, and mind you, you're watching this video the day after I'm filming this, so who the heck knows where Bed Bath & Beyond stock is trading when you're watching this video. But when we got this news about 3 hours ago that they're being delisted from the NASDAQ exchange, this stock ended up collapsing as expected. I mean, look, it closed at 19, almost 20 cents today. It went up 5.5%, decent day. And then once we got that news, boom, from 20 cents all the way down to 11.5 cents. We're talking a drop of about 40, close to 45% in the span of about 30, 40 minutes. Not even, guys. So this thing collapsed completely. Then it saw a little bit of a relief rally from 11 cents almost to 15 cents. So that was a pop of 28%. Now it's starting to coast back down to 13 cents, and well, it looks like it could get worse. And mind you guys, 11 cents is an all-time low for the stock. And again, by the time you're watching this video, this could be a lot lower. Who the heck knows? But right now, the stock is trading at about 13 cents after the bell, mid-13s, after we got this news. So let me actually transition over here to Safari, guys. Let's break this down. Again, we're going to go over the official notice from Bed Bath & Beyond, and we're going to go over what delisting actually means, what happens to the stock, and so forth. You're going to want to stick on throughout this video. It's going to be of great value to you. So check it out right here. Again, this is the official press release from Bed Bath & Beyond. You can see right here today, April 25th from Union, New Jersey. We got the press release here. Bed Bath & Beyond today announced that it was notified by the Listing Qualifications Department of the NASDAQ Stock Market LLC that NASDAQ has determined or had determined to delist the company's common stock as a result of the company's commencement of voluntary proceedings under Chapter 11 of the United States Bankruptcy Code. And the NASDAQ informed the company that trading in the company's common stock would be suspended at the opening of business on May 3rd, 2023. And if you guys didn't know, to be listed on the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange, not any company could be listed. There has to be qualifications met. Companies have to meet qualifications, which we're not going to break down in this video. Maybe we'll talk about that in a future video. But, well, now that they're filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy and they're not doing well, they do not meet the qualifications anymore to be listed on the NASDAQ, which is why they're being informed right now that the company will be delisted and trading will be suspended at the opening of business on May 3rd, 2023. And additionally, guys, you can see right here, the company is also announcing the cancellation of its previously announced special meeting of shareholders that was scheduled for May 9th. You guys probably remember there was a lot of talk around a reverse stock split. Well, that was going to be talked about and maybe decided upon on May 9th. That's now being canceled. Again, they previously announced the special meeting of shareholders. Now they're canceling it. And to make things even worse, guys, the company is also withdrawing from consideration all proposals set forth in the company's definitive proxy statement on Schedule 14A filed with the SEC Commission on April 5th, 2023. And Bed Bath & Beyond and certain of its subsidiaries, again, filed for voluntary Chapter 11 protection on April 23rd, 2023, as you guys already know, you're well aware of at this point in time. So that's the official release that came out today when I'm making this. You're watching it on the next, the next day. Either way, fresh news here. This is the release that, again, they're being delisted from the NASDAQ. So take a look here, guys, delisting, what it means and how it works for stock shares. Let's break this down right now and talk a little bit about it so you get a better understanding on what the heck is going on. So like I mentioned, guys, a couple of minutes ago, not even, companies must meet specific guidelines called listing standards before they can be listed on an exchange. Each exchange, like the New York Stock Exchange, establishes its own set of rules and regulations for listings, and companies that fail to meet the minimum standards set by an exchange will be involuntarily delisted, right? So let's come down a little bit more here. And of course, some companies could choose to be delisted, right? And they could become privately traded when they identified through a cost-benefit analysis that the cost of being publicly listed exceed the benefits, right? So they could, voluntarily delist. But in this case, Bed Bath & Beyond did not want to be delisted. Obviously, it was not voluntary for them. Oh, this is worth mentioning here. To avoid being delisted, some companies will undergo a reverse split of their stock shares, which, again, if you guys didn't know, Bed Bath & Beyond wanted to do that. They wanted to do either a 1 for 10 or a 1 for 20 to bring that share price up because, again, the lower and lower it gets, you have to meet requirements for the NASDAQ. The lower it gets, the worse and worse it becomes for the company, right? So let's come down a little bit more here. The consequences of being delisted can be significant since stock shares not traded on one of the major exchanges are more difficult for investors to research and harder to purchase. And of course, when a stock goes OTC, there's way less liquidity, way harder to get your shares off of your hands into the hands of other people, which we'll talk about here in a second. And you guys can see right here, actually, often involuntary delistings are indicative of a company's poor financial health or poor corporate governance, and warnings issued by an exchange should be, of course, taken seriously. So let's talk a little bit about what happens to your shares after a delisting occurs. Well, when a company delists voluntarily, shareholders will usually receive cash to buy them out or shares in the new acquiring company, which is not the case here with Bed Bath & Beyond. When it is forced to become delisted, right, the outcome is usually different. No special offer comes, like you getting, cash or receiving the new shares. You either find a buyer on the exchange or are left holding a stake in a company that's no longer listed, which of course it's less liquid. Not the best scenario to be in, right? And holding delisted stocks generally is not very desirable. The shares don't disappear, but do become more difficult to trade. Once off the exchange, they can trade OTC, or in other words, over the counter. And these markets don't offer the same accessibility and liquidity as the other major exchanges. You'll be faced with higher transaction costs and, of course, wider bid-ask spreads, which means your fills are going to be absolutely terrible with Bed Bath & Beyond now that it's going to go OTC. And another factor to consider is that there's less regulation outside of the major exchanges. Requirements are more relaxed, including those relating to communications, leaving investors more in the dark and unaware of what is going on within the company in which they're invested. So yeah, guys, essentially at this point, if you own Bed Bath & Beyond stock like I do, I own 1,300 shares, which honestly, guys, I'm completely fine with losing all that money. I mean, for Pete's sake, it's like $130 at this point. It's all good. I'll be all right, but I'm still holding on. At this point, I'm just going to hold on and wait till they go OTC. And if you still hold the stock, guys, at this point, that is what you can do. Or you can just sell before they officially get delisted off the NASDAQ and maybe take a massive loss. Either way, you're probably going to take a massive loss. That's the reality of the matter, unless something crazy happens. Maybe they get out of Chapter 11, and, in that case, we'll see what comes from that. Maybe I'll make a part 2 video on what could happen in that case. That's probably smart. Do you guys want to see that? Let me know down below in the comments. But you can still sell the shares. You can still sell the shares now that they're, delisting, even after they delist, guys. And the conditions to do so will now be generally less favorable, of course. Like I mentioned, volume thins out when you leave a major exchange. And with OTC transactions, there are fewer buyers and fewer sellers, meaning wider bid-ask spreads and getting less than the going rate, which is not good. And in some cases, you may only be able to trade the shares by appointment, which is actually insane. So that's a quick little rundown, guys, on what in the world is going on right now. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. And by the time you're watching this video, again, guys, this stock is going to be either up a ton, down way more. Maybe it's at 2 cents for all we know. I don't know. Let me know down below in the comments. And if you haven't gotten up to 15 stocks yet for Moo, what are you waiting for? Use that link down below. Open up an account. You get 1 free share of stock. If you deposit at least $100, you get 4 more stocks, totaling 5 stocks. And if you deposit at least $1,000, guys, listen to this, you get another 10 stocks, totaling 15 free stocks. And of course, it also helps out the channel. I appreciate you all as always. And don't forget to also get 12 stocks from Webull. Guess what? Link down below. And with that being said, cheers, guys. I'm not drinking coffee, but I'm still going to cheers you with my coffee from this morning. It's all good, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.